Number one, of course, I want to thank our viewers and our listeners. I can't believe we're pushing our third year of doing this, and we couldn't do it without you. I know it sounds cheesy. I know it sounds like a cliche, but trust me when I tell you that Jason and I would not put in the time every week to make this happen on a weekly basis if we didn't enjoy the feedback and the fact that you're out there listening and commenting and appreciating the show. And we do it as much for ourselves as for anyone, but it sure is fun to know that there's other people out there that enjoy it. So a shout of gratitude to all of our viewers and listeners from 2023 and previous and moving into the future.
And this is where Jared would add in crowd noise and like whistles and like all kinds of. This is where he would go to the between the songs on Kiss Alive.
I was just going to say,
steal the audience and like throw it in there. You know.
Yeah, pipe in Kiss Alive 2 applause.
Sure.
Please. But seriously,
Kiss Alive 3 maybe.
Anything besides crickets.
Right. Because that's what we got right now.
Yeah. But I think I think we owe it to everyone to say thank you for keeping us motivated and for, leaving your likes and comments and subscribing and chiming in with your comments and things like that. We do enjoy having you along for our ride, as goofy as it can be sometimes. I also want to thank our web designer, Scott Moon. If you haven't noticed, our website was completely redesigned in 2023, thanks to our good buddy, Scott Moon. He is a talented web designer, graphics designer guy, a super sweet guy, really cool dude. And if you haven't been to our website,
Moonray Designs.
Moonray Designs, look him up if you need web work or anything of the like. Scott is a super cool guy, and he came to us and said, hey, let me know if you want to refresh your website. You've had the same kind of look and feel for a couple of years. And he threw out some ideas and we bounced some things off of him, and boom, he made it happen. So if you haven't been to talklouderpodcast.com in a while, go revisit it. It's got a whole new look. It looks amazing. And there is a page that lists links to all of our previous episodes. I think we're up to about 175 guests. You're going to find somebody in there that you want to listen to and watch if you missed them the first time, or watch them again. There's a lot of great episodes worth rewatching as well.
Yeah, it can be as fun as watching paint dry.
And Jason is now our publicist.
So, well, I want to thank you, Dave, because there are some episodes where I'm sitting on my thumb. And I appreciate you, your research and the way that you handle, keeping it going as best you can, because you prod and pry information, and I feel like a correct way that I don't really. I'm more or less coming at our guests when we have guests, coming at it from a fan's point of view, and that's hard for me to not do.
Sure.
And I know that you're in the same boat. I think that absolutely. You are coming from the same place as I am when I say that, but
true.
It's important for me to acknowledge your. I'm waiting for you to hang up your diploma of journalism or whatever you call it on the wall behind you, but you don't seem to have that displayed.
It's not rock and roll enough. There's too much rock and roll in the way, as you can see.
Does rock and roll get in the way? Is that what you're saying? I think life gets in the way of rock and roll.
Not in this house. Yeah.
No, rock and roll is kind of number one in your house. I mean, you're hanging skulls and rock and roll shit in the kitchen. So
yes, indeed. Yeah. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. And I've said it all along. I think we make a pretty good team.
If people have seen, a few episodes, they know what I mean.
Yeah.
You're keeping the train on the rails the whole time. I'm good at interrupting. I'm good at talking over everybody. Apparently I am. And thank you.
We're all guilty.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But let's get into talking about some of our episodes that we had in 2023.
Yeah,
Dave,
I want to do that, but
yeah.
but real quick before we do that, since we're giving credit where credit is due, another shout of thanks to our producer Jared Tuten, who has kept this thing afloat for 3 years. We say it every year. This is all his fault, folks. So if you don't like us, send your hate mail to Jared Tuten. That's Jared Tuten. This was all his idea.
He's gonna appreciate you saying his name 20 times. Because well, people are good at playing that video game, the internet, where you can look anybody up.
Yeah, so. Well, we owe a lot to Jared. He keeps us on track. He handles the technical side of this thing. He handles the behind the scenes stuff. This whole thing was his idea in the beginning. I think we've said that before, but he is as much a part of this team as me and Jason. This team is a 3-man band. And
he's kind of trained us.
It's a power trio, and
didn't he kind of
see Jason, or you don't see Jared, and you don't hear him, but he's always there.
But he kind of trained us, didn't he?
Yeah, yes, he did. I mean, we didn't know anything about podcasting.
Well, and we were trying to, we were just kind of goofing a little bit and winging it, and we still do that because, man, if it's over scripted. It's just not good. Some food for thought. I had a show on public access for a while called what was it? The Hard Show. That's what it was called. And I was like a VJ. I would talk about bands and videos, and I had a few guests every once in a while. It wasn't a great show. I don't know if any of it's on YouTube. And, I interviewed a few bands. I interviewed like Children of Bodom and a couple of other people. And, it was a recorder, a camera and, that kind of a thing. It was horrifying. But I found out through that experience, I found out that every time I sorted my early episodes when I was doing that, I scripted. I would write out stuff that I wanted to mention and talk about, and verbatim I would read stuff. Mm-hmm. Hi, I'm Jason, and you're watching The Hard Show. I'm not even exaggerating. That's what it came off to me. I mean, of course, when I watched it, I knew I was reading, but I swear I looked like I was reading. And I wasn't technically, holding the paper up in my face and reading it, but it sounded like I was fucking reading it. Yeah. So I stopped doing it. And I just had PowerPoints, and I knew who was going to be. I knew I had a list of videos. Yeah, up next we got, whatever. And they would play it, and I'd come back. Hey, what's up? And I would just totally wing it and hang out. So much cooler of a way to do it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, lessons learned often come from things that you won't do again, So I'm as new as this as you are, maybe newer. I mean, as far as broadcasting, I've done print journalism for a long, long time, but it's different when you have to shove a microphone in your face and actually perform.
Exactly.
In a way, it's not really performing, but within some kind of guideline.
You got to keep a conversation rolling, and that's not always easy.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Well, and you're entertaining. You want to have a story to tell, and you want to be good at doing that, whatever that might be, to get that across. Yeah. I want to throw a shout out and a thank you to the Bat Lord.
Yes.
Stuart Laurence.
Yes, indeed.
Who found the cool font that is our logo. Yeah. He put together that little video you see at the top of every episode, which is really awesome. It's still awesome. Yeah. I can't imagine right now us having a new one, a different one. I really, really like it. And he just went wing ding, threw it together. That's Jared Tuten. Here we go again. Who created that song, wrote that little song that's like, that's Jared.
Yes.
And it's pretty awesome still. So I'm pretty proud of that part of it. And I'm just glad that we were able to have resources to just, hey man, sure, here you go. And boom, we have this badass intro thing that we still use all the time. And it's real basic. I mean, other podcasters, I bet, see it and go, whatever. But because they can see it and go, oh, that was made with this application and that's recorded on this and sounds like they're using blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't fuck you. I don't care if you're more badass than we are. I'm saying I didn't have to do shit. I just called up my buddies and went, hey man, can you make me a fucking thing? And they went, sure, boom, and it was fucking done.
They went, you're doing a podcast?
Well, once they got over that, right?
Right.
Let's talk about an episode that happened in 2023, man. What do you got?
So anyway, big thanks to Stuart, Jared, and our listeners and viewers.